909-792-7022. That's 909-792-7022. Their website, marscarpet.com. Mars Carpet of Loma Linda.
I just might. Oh, I just might.
The biggest stars, the hottest shows in person at Paley Fest at Dolby Theater in Hollywood, April 4th through the 12th. Tickets are on sale now. Experience unforgettable panels and screenings with the biggest stars and the hottest shows, including Nobody Wants This, Shrinking, The Pit, Emily in Paris, Your Friends and Neighbors, Scrubs, Pluribus, and a special 50th anniversary celebration of Charlie's Angels. Get an exclusive look at the biggest names in television. Don't miss Paley Fest. Tickets sell fast, so visit paleyfest.org to buy tickets now.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
Did you know that black babies in the U.S. and California are 2 to 3 times more likely to die before they turn 1 than white babies? Black moms also have more health problems during pregnancy, almost 4 times more than white moms. In San Bernardino County, the numbers are still very bad. Black babies are almost 3 times more likely to die in their first year than white babies. Black moms are more likely to have their babies too early and feel sad or worried during pregnancy. These are not just numbers. These are real people and real families. We must do better. That's why programs like Black Infant Health and Perinatal Equity Initiative are here. They give black moms and families free care and support before, during, and after having a baby. They offer group support, one-on-one help, mental health care, doulas, and support for dads too. We believe every baby should have a healthy start and every mom should be treated with kindness and care. Together, we can build healthy beginnings for black families. To learn more or get support, call 844-352-3985 or visit dph.sbcounty.gov/PEI.
Oh, all right, this is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen, here on the case for truth, justice, with the right information to help improve the situation. Hey, pay attention to those announcements, those initial announcements. West Side Story newspaper will indeed take care of your legal publishing. And San Bernardino County Department of Public Health, they have many beautiful messages and services that are available for you. Empire Talks Back is brought to you by West Side Story newspaper and San Bernardino County Department of Health. We are in a situation where you need to have a healthy, strong mind and be ready to do some logical thinking and not just eat the apples that are put in front of you. Now, we've seen and understand the issues of terrorism, and nobody that I know is in favor of them, even the people that are oppressed. We don't see black folk and poor folk here in the United States running out being terrorists, but we are certainly oppressed, and we certainly have things that are being used against us that we built and paid for ourselves. Terrorism is a fiendish thing. Some people think that there was a lot of terrorism taking place in Minnesota recently, and not by foreigners, but by people who are operating with an attitude that's foreign to people who are used to being free, treated as free, paying the bill for freedom, not only here at home, but around the world. And so when someone says, oh, we're just paying for freedom around the world, you still have to come to the bank to make a withdrawal. You can't just throw our money out there and say, I'm using it to fight for freedom, especially if you've got a reputation for self-dealing, especially if you've got a reputation for fighting to defend those who are indefendable when it comes to their humanity and concerns about other folk. But you defend them anyway because they've got billions of dollars like you do. As we look at the commitments that are made by our president, we have to think about them. We've elected a group of people, some we call Congress folk and some we call senators. But we expect them to be the check on the president. We expect them to see what he's talking about, use their intellect, and make a determination as to whether it's okay to spend our money. Now, I may not like what's on the shopping list, but at the same time, that's why we have all the Congress people and all of the senators. They are the ones who should decide, is this a good investment? Is this a good buy? Is this something that's going to make the house safer? Or is it going to be something that if we leave it festering around in the refrigerator, it may blow the damn place up? We've got to figure those things out. So, as we all are absorbing the constantly changing information about what's going on in the nation of Iran as a result of Israel's dissatisfaction and desire to go on and do some military actions with the help and support of the United States and under the auspices of the concept that Iran is a terrorist country and the leadership there needs to go. Well, normally when we talk about leadership going, we hope people are going to elect them out. I didn't know we were in the assassination business. I should pay it a little more attention. I got to go back and remember that, my good friend Obama, he's famous for an assassination. They take place. And you give, and sooner or later you're going to get. You're going to get what you give. Everybody ends up wearing his own clothes. The shadow, it's only where the body goes. Everybody pays. It's not a tax. It's more like dues, and your price is something your actions choose. So remember, whenever you make one, you make two. One for him. One for him and one for you. So be sure that whatever you make ain't more than you want to take, because sure enough, through the arc, down the line, you're bound to get what you thought was. But anyway, my point is this. Karma is a bazitch. And we want to be careful about how we build ourselves up to accept it. I'm not going to make a judgment on whether Mr. whomever and Supreme Leader or president of this country or president of that country, because if you're going to, you took the guy off that was in Venezuela. I don't know if they're thinking about the guy in Russia at all. Well, probably not, because he's white. Don't fool around with him. Plus, he got a lot of guns.
Right.
Him and his boys, the echo from that may be much longer. But the echo, that's what we're concerned about. And the echo is what I would expect my congressmen and senators to step up and make a determination on as they hear a request. It could be quiet as hell. I don't have to know about it, but I do have to know that it took place, that they paid the spending of the money, and they speculate and expect to deal with the echo. But there's an echo. And to deal with the fact that there's an echo and how long that echo lasts, I had to talk to somebody other than myself, see, because I'm a veteran observer, like most of you. We're veterans at observing the heroism that takes place under the helmets of our military. These are well-trained. You got to be well-trained to be willing to turn your vision of your future around and say, well, I guess that don't count as much as fighting to be sure that my leader's vision for the country, which should be more important, is more important, And I have to have trust in in the vision of my leader, that he is leading for the benefit of our country, not trying to put a few nickels in his pocket. But that's our soldiers. That's your cousin. That's your brother. That's your nephew. That's your niece. That's your aunt. That's family. That ain't no jive thing.
Man.
That's real. Okay, we had a party a couple weeks ago. One of my family members is about to go on a assignment, military. I didn't know they had this stuff planned for him. I bet he didn't either. But so this is real. So I don't know about it. I'm a veteran observer. You know, most of the closest I've come to real war is sitting down next to one of the kids while they're playing video games. And don't laugh, because most of you are the same way. Not the people that are laughing in the studio with me, because I'm in the studio with two veterans. Two veterans who have left the country to fight in your name, and hopefully not for the fame of some leader, but for the benefit of our country. But there's an echo. You don't just get to go and come home and everything is all hunky-dory. You know, there's a little thing on my computer, the power button that says sleep. And it tells me that this button will allow everything to stay on and in place so that you can go do whatever you want to do. Go to the bathroom, go to sleep, go away, come back a week later. And when you open up your computer, everything is just like you left it. Well, there ain't no sleep button for our guys when they go into the military. You know, the military's, you know, it offers some great things in terms of advancement, especially during times of peace. But then again, the echo is what's critical. So I have a young man with me here today, Ferran Dozer. You guys get to hear him on the radio here a couple of times a week. And if you are a veteran and have issues, chances are that you've talked to him and he's helped you out. Ferran, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I love that introduction and the echo, because there is something there for me when you spoke those words. So,
what is the last couple of days of information flow regarding Iran do for you and the echo?
you know, the first thing I thought about was the economics. They make money off wars, man.
You know, the key word here is the first word out of your mouth there was they.
Yeah.
I haven't made any money off of it.
Yeah.
You know, all I've got is a little stress and concern about, man, I hope my little nephew's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know? I hope he's not going to be on the front line. But then that's Wallace. That's like saying, yeah, I hope my neighbor's kid is the one that have to be on the front line.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my kid on the front line. Well, look at where that puts us.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you know, we're going to be able to say, you know, this is something that's good for the country, good for the world, and any sacrifices we make will actually turn out to be good investments. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to say that about a life, especially a life.
Oh yeah.
And the breath that you've smelled of a real person.
For sure.
Okay, so that part is hard, and. But you work with veterans. You do things to help veterans. And yeah, they make money on war. And if that was the only way to make money, that'd be different. But look how much more money we make on peace. Okay? I mean, that's just my thoughts, because
And I appreciate you, because when I said they, right, I'm looking at what we as people call the system. The government system, right? So, and even then, when we say the government system, we forget that that's people.
Well,
there are people in those systems.
Right. So what do you think Iranians think about who is our government system?
Exactly.
Do you think they think it's a little group that's separate from the people? No.
Not at all.
Do you think our reputation around the world is based on something that's, that's the people? No. Oh, and that's the president. No. Oh, and that's the military. Or is it like, oh, there's that all big old box of rotten apples?
And this is why I appreciate you for inviting me to be with you this morning, because right off the top, what comes from me is, as a 24-year retired Army veteran, giving my life to death at 19, which I didn't understand that at first, not till in my 50s. But the most important part that I'm peeling off in my life today, looking back from being in the service those years, was the ability to objectify another human being to a terrorist and then train for 24 years to kill terrorists. And I have that ability right now to label you as a terrorist in my mind and do that same harm to you. But we don't talk about that part.
No.
And that's the part I believe that we want to discuss today, because us as now me being a transition into a civilian, right? I was also trained from day one that civilians are not going to understand you, Farhan. They're not, because they don't, only 1% of the population ever serve at any given time. So civilians are not going to understand you. So I grew up with that mentality, still today peeling that layer off, which is why I'm so glad that I discovered that, hey, wait a minute, we objectify one another all day long. Blacks, whites, Mexicans, like, so that ability.
Building fences, constantly. Building fences.
And what that does is that disconnects us emotionally as human beings first. So I'm not a person to you first. I'm a veteran first. If you talk to me, and then you're going to talk to me how the world talks about veterans, how the world talks about blacks, how the world talks about.
And then when you get off and want to talk to me about your swimming pool,
right?
I said, Farhan, come on back over here. Let's talk about this. You know?
Exactly.
And I was talking to my goddaughter the other day, and she was saying basically the same thing. You know, says there's stuff I want to talk about, I want to express, but the world is trying to make me talk about other things all the time, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to feel forced to do that. I said, well, but you're educated. You're a messenger. You're supposed to do this. It's in you, and that. But who said I got to do that? You know, well, God gave you a gift. Well, maybe that gift is just, you know. So we have expectations on each other, and we put obligations on each other. Hopefully, we give each other a good hug. Hopefully, we give each other a level of inspiration as well.
But that's at its core, though.
Yes.
As human beings, we are social beings. We want to belong.
Yes.
Right? So the sense of belonging also is another layer of the fracture. When you objectify you as a other, then I'm separating myself from the group by labeling you.
Or labeling yourself.
Or labeling, exactly.
If I don't go along with what's going on, you know, is it that old sexist joke about being here? You know, if you ain't here for why I'm here, you're gonna be here after I'm gone. Well, this is what our president tells people: if you're not here for what I'm here for, you need to get up and leave. And we anyway.
But you mentioned some things, you know, even going back to Obama and the previous presidencies, right? That I don't know if people realize that each president, his decisions are 20, 30, 40, 50 years long impact.
Yes.
It's not just your term, because those decisions go out into. So when we talk about these kind of discussions, I have grandchildren now. 6, 5, 3, 4. Like it's so. What are your decisions, Mr. President, going to do for my grandchildren? Because I might not be here when they're 40s.
Yeah, or if I am, you know, am I going to be a happy 40? You know, happy about the decisions that I've given my life toward to build a strength in this nation for you to act that way toward my grandkids?
I don't want my grandson worried about the stuff that I'm fighting for today. That should be done, because that generation's gonna have their own concerns for their life. I don't want him to have my worries put on him that he's fighting for something that his grandfather did. I want him to be able to acknowledge, hey, my grandfather fought for this, and now it's my turn.
Right.
And that's what I look at for us as a black community and our ancestors. Yes, we could focus on the struggles and the upsets, but what about the strengths? I'm someone's prayer answered. Now it's my turn.
Yes.
I don't know what it was to be a slave back then, but now it's my turn. And if I can either take the conversations and be upset and frustrated and give my opinions about those subjects, or look and see where it's my turn to take on this part of life that I don't want to tolerate no more. Because as society, we tolerate a lot. We could turn the TV on, watch all the bombings and all the stuff going on, and then turn the TV off and go right back to our opinions and mindsets, which doesn't move anything forward.
Right. Don't let those tears keep the truth from your eye.
Come on.
So we're left with, what is this going to be? Your experience, my experience says that they don't know what it's going to be, and the anticipation is more of supply and demand and monies that can be made while we make the decisions as to who will be laid permanently down beneath the surface of the ground. The issue of life and death
Yes.
is a class issue, evidently, because I was not invited to the decision-making meeting. My congressman wasn't
It don't
invited.
sound like
you know,
anybody
my
was.
senator wasn't. I was not represented. Oh, don't worry, son. You'll be represented when we deploy.
But see, you know what?
I don't care how great the victory is.
No, it's
there's
not about
no
that.
victory.
No.
You know, you can't tell me we had this great party.
No.
Everything was fine. You wasn't invited, but we got a little cake and crumbs left over that you can benefit from. Or the fact that you weren't there simply means, you know, you also you weren't harmed. But I wasn't harmed. I'm emotionally harmed.
That's
My emotions,
exactly-
my moods, my
exactly
attitude is
that part.
very, very critical.
That part.
Now, I'm old enough, matured enough, experienced enough to know that it's not a tradition for me or my family or my people to act out the anger.
Right.
We are not terrorists,
Some
though we
self-control.
are being terrorized. We are not terrorists. We're not going to respond in that manner. So when I say the echo, what are we going to do? What does it mean? I expect we're going to have some funerals. 2 days, yesterday, oh, this is beautiful and safe, you know, no lives. Well, we've lost, 2, 3 lives and 5 more people that we know of that have been injured. And they couldn't have been. I know they weren't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where they were or how they got bombed. Maybe they just tripped and fell in the barracks somewhere. I don't know. I mean, we get people die every day.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's what they'll end up telling us. Well, you know, a certain number of people are going to die every day anyway. And a lot of these people, they just end up costing us. At least these guys, when they died, they were moving toward helping us. Oh man, if you eat that, don't eat that stuff.
No.
Don't eat that sandwich. It's full of poison. And it's got a long-term poison like mercury that's going to affect you later. You're going to be trying in your sleep one day, just sleeping good, and you're going to wake up and say, damn. And you won't even know why. You just won't be able to sleep.
But again, you
I know.
said emotional.
I'm old enough to know that today is my birthday. Okay, I've been through the cycle of life, me and my mom's birthday. Okay, to know that there will be a day that you can wake up, be in the midst of a nightmare that you didn't earn.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about it,
Yeah.
but it's there. Why? Because maybe something you did that you hid from yourself when you did it.
Ooh. The unforeseen consequence.
Yes.
That's the echo.
The echo,
The unforeseen
the echo
consequence?
goes nowhere. Matter of fact, sometimes you holler and the echo don't even start for a while. You know, you've hollered off the cliff and turned around and walked away, kind of like Stephen Curry shooting that 3-pointer, you know, from half court. He's turned around and walked away by the time the ball hits the net.
Yeah.
Whoosh, and then the echo starts. Yeah, listen, we're in a great positive position. This is why I'm making my alarm. You know, I could wait till 8 o'clock in the morning, you know, when the sun is already up, and you know, and it's kind of too late. But folks, it's still 4 o'clock in the morning in terms of what we can do about who we are, and our ability to make the day become a good day. And we all have to be accountable and to make those that we have put in positions of responsibility become accountable. Because if they were already accountable, we'd already know what we were talking about. So they have to. We have, but that's our job today. We have to put that on our list.
It is, and one thing you said about the emotional state of us as a country right now, or as a people, or for myself, is I had to find my peace in those conversations in my emotional state, which was I only get an opinion about when, where, why, or how people die. I only get an opinion. So then, if I add my opinion to the discussion, it's still not the truth. It's just my view of the truth. And
That's your vote. That's your vote.
Right. And so
Now, when we ask people to vote, that means we need to be in a position to stir that vote into the mix and make it count.
right. And so to be included in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we know that at the electoral college or whoever that is decides who they pick anyway. They want our interest. They want to know what we think about that subject.
They do, but so does the universe. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So your opinions plays a part in, as you said, in your unforeseen consequences. Just because I have the right to say something doesn't mean it's right.
No, but it doesn't mean that it's going to stop once it comes out of your mouth.
Exactly.
Okay, so what happens to a person who puts into the universe every day that I'm not going to be successful? Life is really a pain in the butt. I'm not worthy of this breath that God gives me. I don't know what I'm going to do.
But
That person that says that every day, that gives that to the universe, has he got a chance?
you know why he doesn't have a chance, or does have a chance? Because
He can change his mind.
Because what I'm about to say, but if your subconscious mind, now we got to get into a little mental health.
Every day. Thank you.
Right?
That's where we got to go.
So if you understand how the brain functions, it stores perception patterns, memory patterns, and action patterns. So if my perception of the world is life is hard and challenging and difficult and frustrating or whatever, that's coming out of my heart. So if I don't do the work and catch myself to see why do I think like that, then of course my subconscious mind is going to always collect the evidence of life is dangerous. That's how I lived.
But that's the opinion.
That's the opinion that life is dangerous.
Well, that's the opinion. Let's go back to now the philosophical opinion as opposed to the personal opinion.
Okay.
So when you say my opinion, does it count? My vote, does it count? When you speak it to the universe, does it count? I think it counts.
It does count.
I
It
think
counts
that
for you, for me as a person first. It has to count first.
Do you think that if everybody sitting in the room repeated the same mantra, even though at the beginning they were not aware of the mantra, and someone started the mantra and others decided to pick it up,
Right, got you.
okay, and decided that we were going to put all of our thought and fervor in that mantra as we say it.
Got you.
Now, there's some people that tell me we could move things around on the table if we did that consciously, together, with enough of us doing it. I choose to believe that. I choose to believe that people's thoughts can make something happen. I choose to believe that if a bunch of people decided to have a funeral for a person that's alive, that person who's alive, life is threatened. Now, I'm not suggesting anything.
No.
But I am saying this, that when we have a public opinion that says, well, Iran is so bad that it's okay to just go out and assassinate their leader, confuse all of the people that live there, and get them thrown into a messy attitude that allows a new leadership to come and take place without their real participation, but more from our manipulation.
Let me give you an example. We go into school districts and we teach emotional intelligence leadership. My buddy has an affirmation that says that we teach the children, 3rd, 4th, 5th graders, 6th graders, I'm respectful of myself, my peers, my family, my community.
I love
Right?
it. Yes.
Now, a mantra, an affirmation.
Yes.
Now, when I joined forces with him to be a part of the EQ, the emotional intelligence piece, when I walked in that classroom and they started the class with that affirmation, I realized that they memorized it. They hadn't applied that to their life. So when you talk about our thoughts, we can have all kind of thoughts and ideas, but at what point is somebody in that group going to say, you know what, this is the actions we need to take? So when I walked in and I hear this and I'm like, oh, they're saying it out loud and they're enthusiastic, but not one has ever put their life in what it feels like to be respectful for myself or
But they're
disrespectful.
prepared now.
But now they're prepared.
Now they're prepared.
Now they're prepared.
For the time.
Exactly.
When it comes to like now, when I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Back up. I do not pledge allegiance to the foul minds of the people who have the microphones who appear to be in charge.
Right.
And that's the mantra.
Right.
That's the echo. That's the promise. That's the thing that we say around the table and in our minds and in the closet when no one's listening, with the hope and desire
But
that,
do we experience that? No.
well, I think we'll see. We'll see, because I don't think we're going to chew this apple. I don't think we're going to accept this snake-inspired peace
This time around?
this time around. Well, no. It's fewer people each time
Yeah.
to accept it and eat it. Now, I don't know if this will be the time that will allow us to say, we ain't going to never go through this again.
I don't know. I did hear the right and the left are kind of like, wait a minute, hold on, bro. Like,
Well,
like
this
they're
is-
like, oh, wait a minute,
it's
this is
coming
not
close.
this is not
It's
what you
close.
said, you know.
For different reasons,
Right.
it's close.
Right.
You know, I was hoping that they would do this. You were hoping they were going to do that. And none of our dreams were met. Therefore, a coalition was made. And this coalition says, I want the truth. And I'm prepared to deal with what occurs with the truth. The truth says that you've been telling it, and you're going to continue to tell it, and we're going to keep you.
Right.
Or the truth is going to say, no, it's been demonstrated.
Was not your intention.
So we're alive with fervor, and we're alive with enthusiasm, because someone is out to kill us. Someone is out to take away the thing that we wake up with enthusiasm for every day, the freedom. Freedom. Now, what do we do with freedom? The poet said, I declare myself free. I declare myself free of all the things that make it hard to be a man living compatibly within the realm of God's glorious harmony. I shall reject all attempts to involve me in man's life-degrading sin against time and love. I refuse to be a part of this travesty that's rotting away as far as I can see. No, not for me. That ain't the way it's going to be, because I declare myself free.
No.
Okay, you free now, dude. What you gonna do?
Yeah, now
How
what?
you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Who you gonna love?
Yeah.
Who you gonna hate?
Yeah.
You know, whose altar are you gonna run to and
What
bow
skills?
down to?
What principles are you used
Yes,
by now?
yes.
If you're used by frustration, upset, and disappointment, and ashamed,
What is freedom?
it's independence ain't freedom either.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, let's go back to 1865. Okay, you used to have your little shack behind the master's house. Okay, and now you come in and you're free. What does that mean? That means pack your stuff and leave.
Now what?
You know, you can't leave them onions and taters, because those is mine. But you're free.
You think that's still the
How to
mentality
become-
today?
Well, the idea is challenging every day. Our teenagers go through it. You're free. You're leaving the house. You're going from here. What does freedom mean? What
Yeah.
is responsibility? That's where the mantras come from. This is where what my dad said to me when I was 13. Okay? It was memorized, but it hadn't been actualized.
Not the cliches. My dad
Oh.
taught cliches. I love him. God rest
Man,
his
but
soul.
they weren't, the cliche is only real because it's real.
He left out the meat and potatoes of the cliche though.
No, but you experienced the meat and potatoes, and you made the cliche real.
Oh.
Okay, because you said, "Damn, I know what you mean now."
No, yeah, but now that
Now he didn't answer everything, but he told you
No,
that
but-
it's a caution light. It ain't a red light. It ain't a green light.
But that's
It's
the
a
thing.
caution
But
light.
that's the thing. The way that we were raised and taught and grew up in an environment, it's not. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it doesn't work today. Today, you have to give that child, that teenager, information.
Somebody
You got to
is.
plant that. Because if we don't, as parents, as a family, then that child is going to walk away and go make up their own story, or they're going to be influenced to be included somewhere else. And
Or
now they're
as
disconnected from us.
As the suits against Microsoft tell us, the parent is going to realize that the child is being told something else
Yes.
that's anti-life,
Yes.
anti-family,
Yes.
more pro-consumer,
Yes.
pro-follow without thinking. Logical thinking doesn't belong here.
And that destroys families,
And well,
communities.
it seemed to be getting along to do that, but now we got a suit.
It doesn't work, though.
Well, but no, it doesn't. But so how do we stop it? The same thing that people use to detour us is going to be, what do they call it, a reverse engineering? We're going to reverse engineering. So is Microsoft going to have to give us money back for what they've done to some children?
So again, we can't leave it to Microsoft. We have to leave it to us.
It's in court. That's to us.
Right. So us as a family, now that I have dealt with a lot of my own childhood emotional fractures, and I've been freed up, I have better understanding. Some stuff God has delivered me from. Some stuff I'm still healing and managing. I can now take that, instead of giving my daughters and my grandchildren cliches of what it looks like, I can actually give them experience. I can actually then listen to them and say, I know what I'm worried about for your life, but what are you worried about? Because sometimes as parents, we put our concerns on our children, and that's not the child's concerns.
Yeah,
So that
'cause-
creates the rebellion. So now, mom and dad, you don't understand me. So we push that child away from us, not purposely, but emotionally, to turn to their peers by elementary, middle school. I'm looking for my peers for love and acceptance, which is all what we see today, trial and error.
I think that's God's plan more than appearance inadequacy. The youth, the youth. If we look at the patterns of how people respond to their parent, they tend to respond no matter how great the parent is, no matter how good a friend, no matter how much of a beehole, they're going to rebel.
Yes.
They're going to, if you don't kick them out of the nest, it don't matter because they're going to jump out. And that's the process. I think we get into problems when we try to extend the nest and try to tell the kid how to build their nest. We give them hints, and that's our goal, to show them how. But they're going to go and do it their way.
And that's fine, but it's Sunday. The commandment and the promise says honor your father and mother, not love or like them. So yes, that there is a natural break in communication between child and parent. But if the parents don't know that and have the skills to make those corrections, it's not that I don't love you, but when I leave my house, I'm not going to talk to you no more.
But that's why social services are so critical. Because there are parents who say to their children, I can't wait.
Right?
I can't wait till you graduate and go do it and eat somewhere else.
But
and they laugh and they play and they joke about it, but they're dead serious. I
serious.
want you out of my house.
But that's because how that parent, now you got to look at how the parent grew up in their environment from their parents.
That's my point. You just made my point. They are responding, and that's what our kids are doing to a certain extent. They're responding, but in that response, we got to expect that they're going to be leaving anyway.
Yes.
So rather than, I don't know, trying to fill them up with who you are,
Cultivate the
I like the
skills.
Montessori school attitude that says, reach them where they are.
Yes,
And,
exactly.
and focus on what they're focusing on.
Exactly.
And at least you build a trusting relationship, if not a leadership
That's
thing with
all
them.
we can ask.
Yes.
And so that, now what we're talking about right here as a foundation plays out to now when that child grows up and takes that information from the family, now where am I going to belong?
Now,
It's going to go to the political parties. It's going to go to maybe sports. It could go to gang affiliation first before they get back on path.
but what we said and are saying is that how we treat and how we perceive our treatment sets up our expectations and generally the lane that we're going to take. We have been spoken to in a certain way, promised things in a certain way, and we are now at the table expecting the delivery to be what was stated on the menu. And we find
that menu wasn't created for you, though.
But it was presented to me.
Exactly.
As I came through the door and laid my money down.
See?
Collected my money in advance.
Yeah.
That's what a vote is.
Yeah.
You collected
but it wasn't your menu, though. But we appreciate you.
But now
I want to be included.
Well, not only just that, there's a potential change in management. And I see you standing there in the kitchen with that greasy spoon instead of doing what you're supposed to have done. And as I look at the new management prospects, I'm very interested in that menu, especially since I've been lied to about the other menu.
But you got to deal with you got to deal with the emotional
I'm going to put some
though.
items on this menu that I expect to have, and I may not get any of the real good things, but one of the things that I'm gonna get for sure is that whatever you put on this menu
is not here no more.
Is gonna be what I expect to have on this menu, and you're gonna promise to not lie. The first time we catch you in a lie, I'm gonna do like my mama said. Ooh. No,
the first time?
Dad was the one who said, I brought you here, I'll take you out.
Yeah.
Okay. But Mom said something that was even deeper. Son, if I catch you in a lie, how am I ever going to trust you again? Oh, wait a minute. Why did she dig in my heart with that axe?
Not the trust factor.
Oh, man, the axe, the disappointment.
That's the disappointment.
That's the thing that hurts them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I can take a whipping. I can take a little spanking, man. I can take some discipline.
But that emotional...
Oh, but when Mom says she's going to cut the rope of trust.
That's that emotional.
Because I was untrustworthy? Oh, hell no. I'm not going there.
You don't want to risk that.
I'm not going to risk that.
No.
Now, Mom planted a lot of seeds to put me in that position.
Right.
Because I know a lot of people, they can't wait to go lie to Mama.
Right.
But I don't understand it, but I do see it take place, and I understand it takes place.
Sometimes we lie to be accepted.
Well, this is why I look at some people who are hanging around the guy.
Exactly.
Okay, they're hanging around him. They know he's lying.
Exactly.
They lying back to him, but they lying to each other.
But we cool.
But they appear to be cool. But the cool thing about it is we are eating the results of their union. Their fake ass union. They're pretending to be each other's friend. They're pretending to be trusting to each other, where in fact they're blackmailing each other.
Yeah.
This is why we don't see. This is why we do not see the Einstein. I call him Einstein. Ooh, he's smart as Einstein. This dude has blackmailed everybody. He has put them all in a position, took pictures. I know Bill Clinton did not know that they were taking pictures of him in that hot tub. Mm-hmm. Anywhere in the world, he knew they were taking pictures of him in the hot tub. Mm-hmm. But Bill, we got these pictures. Man, let me show you how good you look. He didn't call him up and say, Bill, I need you to do something for me. Because he didn't say that. Mm-hmm. He just said, man, look at these pictures. I'm going to send you some in the email. Okay, send them to me. Oh, my God. You sent them to me an email? Yeah, it's going to be there forever.
Oh, by the way. and oh, by the way.
But, so 6 months later, somebody calls and says, hey, Bill.
Uh-oh.
I'm a friend of so-and-so and such and such.
Uh-oh.
And I need, we got this contract we're trying to get done. And he just told me to say something about hot tub. He said the password was hot tub.
Oh, my God.
And there we go.
It's a done
Okay,
deal.
and I said with Bill, because Bill is Bill. But the people who are looking for a deal, like a Homeland Security guy, you give me 50 grand and a little paper bag.
Exactly.
And I'm bold enough to tell him to kiss my butt. That was nothing but coupons. That was a practice session that we put together and videoed it for training. And you idiots taking it serious. That was just a training session. This is how we go catch a guy if we really want to catch him. And that's what we were doing. Mm. But you guys thought, man, there was no money in that bag. That was just coupons. Coupons. Oh, yeah. I love you some coupons.
Yeah, but when one of us sees that, or we, again, I don't like social media for the fact that you get a 60-second clip. and then we form opinions about those, and we have no idea what's going on.
Okay,
in that.
don't get mad at the clip.
Right.
Get mad at the we form opinions.
That's the
Because now this
exactly.
is why it's important that who did they put in charge of the Department of Education? Somebody don't want you educated.
Exactly.
Okay, somebody that doesn't want you to be able to think logically.
Thank you.
And then they take away the Consumer Protection Agency
Thank you.
and turn you loose to TV stations that can lie.
Yep.
You know, we don't have any reason to worry about the commercials or the truthfulness of the commercials or the ingredients in the product. Buyer beware. But the buyer can't beware if he's stupid. You took away, he can't read, you took away that.
Ignorance is darkness, and that's, you got to get educated, and so that's the problem that I have, because when you leave reliant to the social media clips and the news and all that, and then I bring it to you for my opinion about it, now that's causing us as a lowercase United States
Man.
to be separated, because now my opinion becomes my truth, and then if you don't agree with my opinion, then now you and I have an issue.
And while we're issuing about whether I'm telling the truth or not, this time,
right.
okay, this time, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. To tell the truth, when people talk to you and say stuff like that, man, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Well, what were you doing 10 minutes ago? I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. Well, what did you tell me before?
My opinion.
Okay, so all of that stacks up over here while you tell me that Iran was about to
Right.
bomb all us, and so I decided to spend $47 million on bombs to go bomb them, and another $100 million on planes to take the bombs over there.
Because you voted for me to do this.
And,
I told you I got you.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to do nothing,
Right.
y'all. I got you.
And I got a new supplier to take care of this stuff too.
yeah.
My son arranged. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine.
I got you.
Yeah, I got you. Don't
You
worry
voted
about
for
it.
me, I
Dang.
got you.
Yes. I'm supposed to eat that apple.
No. Not in today's society, we know.
The same thing that is rocking our world in terms of journalism with social media is also totally rocking the world of the institutions that used to be dependable. Going to create some new ones though, because
we have to.
because as they buy up all of the TV stations, and now they're buying up all the cable, they cannot afford to buy up all of the streaming and all of the creativity that people have come together with in the realm of streaming. So what they're going to end up doing now is creating small pockets of truths that will ultimately become our underground railroad of truth.
Yes.
Truth will live. And because of God did it. He made night and day. He made left and right. He made up and down. And all of those things are there to verify the opposite.
Yes.
And so our
And there are
truth,
empirical truths. We teach our education from an empirical truth. You ain't got to Google it. All you got to do is use your mind and be willing to self-examine yourself with those principles, and then discover what you get for yourself. When I say that human beings want to belong, that's an empirical truth. You just got to look in your mind and look at your life of when you grew, how you grew up in your environments, feeling like you were the black sheep of the family, or how you were disconnected. I love my mom and dad, but they got on my nerve. That's a disconnection from my family. Not that I don't want to be around them, but there was something emotional in me that had me want to stay away from you. But then also, why can't I hang out with my dad?
Right.
Like, I love him, but he gets on my nerves.
Right.
Like, that's an internal fracture.
I'm trying to get on my youngest son's nerve and beat him in pool.
You sound like me and my dad.
I can't. Man, I tell you what, when we play pool, I hope that he knocks the 8-ball in, because I know that I'm not going to string together enough balls to win the game legitimately based on my skill. I have to depend on his lack of skill or his overconfidence. But that's the deal. And as he beats me, he videos it and puts it on Facebook.
But
beat
that's
Dad
the
again.
part that we have to understand, that on the bigger scale of life and how we view it, sometimes our opinion sometimes our own language is in the way.
Yes.
To see what is actually being said in these conversations? How am I going to decipher what's my truth will set me free, not your truth?
No,
So I have to,
my truth may influence your truth.
it could.
We've been inspired by each other.
Yes.
One of the things as artists we worry about is that somebody stole my stuff.
Oh my God.
You can't steal your
Can't steal.
stuff.
Nope.
No, they
No.
they could be inspired and create something else, and that's hopefully what you're doing.
Thank you.
You know, we're not running around here trying to be satisfied with
No,
life.
no.
We want to be inspired by life.
I tell people, if you love ragu spaghetti sauce and you go into the store to buy ragu, you're not buying Prego, you're not buying Springfield, you're not buying Stater Brothers brand. So that's my
Man.
work is my spaghetti.
You like spaghetti, don't
I
you?
do. I like spaghetti.
Yeah, but you just named off about how many brands of
because
wow.
that's me.
Man, when you say you cooking some spaghetti, call me, okay? Because I know you've gone through the process.
Hey, but-
you have put together a taste.
No one can take what I do because I'm not. If I'm not involved in it, it's not my work. But yes, we inspire people to go and move forward. And of course, I had a lot of guests that come on our show that were inspired to create their own talk show platform. I didn't hate on them.
No,
You're inspired. That's cool.
but let me ask you this: when AI comes up with the, and I was talking to a friend the other day, and he was coming from a totally innocent position. You know, he was talking about, wow, we're gonna use AI to assemble all of this information, you know, and conglomerate it and put it out. And I said, you know, kind of like Reader's Digest. Oh, what is Reader's Digest? How young? Well, this is how young. Okay, how young he is. Wow. I heard about it, but I said, so you're going to take a lot of original work and kind of condense it and mix it with other people's original work and come up with with an AI originated version.
Yes.
Yeah. I said, son. He said, so
That is not how you want to use that.
Well, you know, this is why the writers' strike
Thank you.
lasted
Remember?
as long as it
Remember?
did. Because this is what we're worried about.
Exactly.
We're worried about the fact that there's people in leadership
Yes.
who are willing to misuse the likes and the face and likeness of others to create fake messages
Yes.
that you will think that person actually made
Yes.
to further the goals of the faker.
Yes. Yes.
So we have, so once again, now we gotta,
That doesn't work.
no matter where we go, we're not gonna be so safe that we can leave our minds and our analytical powers at the door.
No.
They will always have to be with us.
So we got to figure out
Here we are.
what's your ingredients? What are you using as foundation skills that you apply to your life that you can discover your truth so that when you come up against someone's opinion, I don't have to get rid of my truth, but I could definitely set my views aside to listen to why you believe or think what you think. That takes a special person.
It takes a person who's got confidence in their ability to think logically.
We call that communication.
Okay, now I can hear the growl at a distance.
Yeah.
Now, logically, I'm hearing it. It's at a distance. Now, you could tell me that, oh, you don't hear that. Okay. And we keep walking, and I'm hearing the growl again, but it's a lot closer. I said, man, that's just the wind blowing. I said, sounds interesting here. And then I look up and I see something headed our way. Dust behind the. I said, man, what do you see? I don't see nothing. I said, somebody is either blind, stupid, and crazy, or somebody thinks I'm blind, stupid, and crazy.
Somebody's perception is
or
off.
I need to maybe turn around and go the other way, regardless of whatever this. So here we are. We're in a position where we're walking down the road with somebody that we trust.
Yes.
Well, we used to trust. Well, we should
have a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, because of where they're sitting, not because of what they've been saying while they sit there.
Yeah.
So I realized that this growl is close enough to be dangerous. And I'm saying to myself now, should I continue to believe this? So here's where we are, folks. You have to depend on your ability to think and your desire to think and your desire to be free with a goal that you have set for your freedom.
Yes.
You have responsibilities as a free person. You have goals, hopefully, that are there to include enough people so that when you are free, you won't be alone.
Yes.
This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. We're on our way out of here. God bless you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
next week under two circumstances. One, if the good Lord's willing, and two, if the creek don't rise.
Cha,
Happy
cha,
birthday,
cha.
Wallace. Thank you.
Coming around. I know we've got a long way to go. Where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. Gonna put ourselves together.
NBC News on KC.